DeVere. I was on the executive board that hired Morris Andrews. I was the third vice president of WEAC. Fruzen was the first, and Lori Wynn was the second, and I was the third. There were monumental years because under my watch, what they called then Senate Bill 15 or Assembly Bill 604, binding arbitration right to strike, was passed. And that was something that the teachers wanted and they got. And Morris Andrews led the whole show, and he did a damn good job of it.
I'm Carmen Stout, was WEAC president from 80 to 84 and WEAC vice president from 76 to 80. I kind of refer to as the golden years, when everything was easy, as DeVere claims. It's kind of like I said after the memorial service.
Sure.
After we got acquainted, and I became, 7 years later became his boss, that you have to establish some sort of an understanding and a working relationship, as you do with any other person. And I found that Morris was bright, creative, and really dedicated to what he was all about in this organization as executive director. And also discovered that he was probably right about 90% of the time, and 10% of the time he could be wrong, and when he screwed up 10% of the time, it could be a big one. And so my job as president was to kind of figure out what that 10% of the time was going to be, and anticipate it and try to intervene or do something about it.
Did you hire him, or how did the hiring?
Morris was hired before I became president. He would have been hired during the years of
72.
72. Who was Lori Wynn president then?
Fran was
Fran was president, yeah, all right.
And Lori followed Fran.
Lori followed Fran.
But you know, the 10%, let me give you an idea of the 10% what he's talking about. Barbara Thompson, remember her?
Yeah.
We wanted to go after Barbara Thompson. Morris suggested something without suggesting.
Yeah, that's
He
great.
came up to me one day, I was in my office, and he said, "You know what I discovered? I discovered we have a Barbara Thompson who's a teacher in Racine." Wouldn't that be something? Two Barbara Thompsons running against each other. Huh? Wouldn't that be great? So I went to the board of directors and I mentioned that. And the first thing some of the members of the board of directors did was, "Oh my God, no. Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever heard." And one of them, it's hard to remember names after 40 some years, but one of them was banging his head against the wall. Boom, boom, boom. This is ridiculous. This is, I thought it would have been a wonderful race, a Barbara Thompson against a Barbara Thompson. That was your 10%.
Right.
Stuff like that.